Ah, can I just say, guys, it's good to see Shield Hero back on track, you know? We started out a little rough this season. I think we can all admit it was a little rough from what I've heard from the light novel readers, the Spirit Tortoise arc was a bit rushed, as you guys don't know, but I feel like after these past couple episodes, and this episode included, I feel like we're finally back on track and we're doing good. So, welcome back to the channel, guys. As you guessed it, today we're here to talk about Shield Hero Season 2, Episode 7, and we kind of had a slower episode today, but we had an episode that is quite interesting moving forward, honestly. So let's kind of just get into it and talk about it. So, our episode really begins like directly where the last one comes off, with Naofumi and the gang going after the Shield Hero into Lalark's world. And they successfully do that. But when they awaken in the world, they're in a jail cell all of a sudden. And mysteriously enough, their levels are reset to 1. So not only are they in a strange new world on their own, their levels are reset. Him, Rishia's, and Raphtalia. And to make matters worse, Raphtalia has reverted back to how she was when her and Naofumi met. We have little Smol Raphtalia again, and while it's very adorable, I have to say, extremely adorable, not a good situation to be in. Because as they're looking around, they realize that Philo's not there either. She's mysteriously gone. So it's just Naofumi, Rishia, and Raphtalia there. And they awaken in this strange prison. Their levels reset, not knowing what's going on. So as they're looking around, obviously, as you would do, they come across this strange door that they walk through. And they end up on a beach all of a sudden. Which, hey, if I went from prison to a beach, I certainly wouldn't be upset. I don't know about you guys, but there's something strange about this beach, you know? They can clearly see the edge of kind of like the world in a way. Like, you see the water in its horizons, but at the end of it, you clearly see like a wall, like there's nothing there. And they quickly realize that something's going on. Something's not right here. And there's a jungle on this island that they appeared on. So they decide to go and explore. And while they're there, they kind of think to themselves, like, oh, maybe we should train a bit. Maybe we should level up. Because being level 1, obviously, is not gonna help in this situation at all. So they're grinding, you know? Any gamer out there, you know how it is to grind. You know how tedious it can be, but it's stuff you gotta do to get stronger. So as they're doing that, they actually come across a Kappa. Yes, I know. I laughed too when I heard the name, Kappa. But it is too high of a level for them to fight. And Naofumi gets quite injured, actually, fighting it, telling the other two to run away. And right before it actually takes them out, they get saved by a mysterious person there with them, who reveals herself to be a Cardinal hero, actually. The hunting hero. And her name would be... I wrote it down. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Kazayama Kizuna. And she reveals that she's one of the 4 Cardinal heroes, but obviously not one that we've heard of or Naofumi's heard of. They don't know of each other. And she reveals that she's been trapped in here for many years, and that this is actually a prison called the Infinite Labyrinth. What did they say? A temporal prison with no exits. There's no escape from this prison. And she reveals, actually, that she's companions with Lalark and Glass, claiming that Glass is actually her best friend. Which obviously sets off red flags for Naofumi, because if we remember Glass from Season 1, tried to murder him a couple times. So, as they're there, they're figuring out what to do. She informs them that there's no escape whatsoever, and she spent countless years in here trying to figure out a way to get out. And she eventually leads them to a spot where she believes could be the exit of this place. We get to go to an ancient tomb, actually. It looks like in Egypt. I will say that all the places they use in this episode, all the different landmarks are kind of cool. We get a prison, we get an island, we get to go to Egypt and all that. And she leads them to a place that appears to be the exit. And Naofumi asked her, like, why haven't you gone through this if you think this is the exit? And it turns out that it's completely solid. Like, they cannot get through, no matter what. So Naofumi thinks of a plan where he uses a plant, it looks like, that if you add, I think, water or magic to it, if I remember correctly, it constantly expands. And in the process of that happening, they actually break down the barrier in that room, and they're able to escape. And the seemingly inescapable prison has been escaped. And as they're leaving, Kizuna is actually very apprehensive. You gotta think, she's been trapped in there for so many years on her own that she just can't believe that they're actually escaping. So Naofumi actually calls to her before they get separated to come with us, and she reluctantly does. And it turns out, when they come out of the exit, they're in her world now, the world that she was summoned to as a hero. And our episode kind of ends there. Like I said, we had a really straightforward episode today, guys. There really wasn't too much that happened besides us getting introduced to a new cardinal hero of another world, which honestly opens up a lot of interesting possibilities. And if she's companions with Glass and Lilark, does that mean that they're actually like two of the other cardinal heroes of this world? I don't know. That seems quite interesting, honestly. And before I gloss it over, because this is a really important thing, as they were sitting there and talking, as they were eating dinner, Naofumi asks her, like, if you've been captured, how do you guys fight the waves in your world? And she reveals that they don't have waves in her world. That they were summoned for a completely different reason that we don't know yet. But they don't have the waves of calamity in their world, and that's kind of interesting, you know? What makes Naofumi's world, that he was summoned to, have waves and hers not? And if she wasn't summoned for a reason like that, why exactly were they summoned, you know? Why else would you call forth a hero who's supposed to have extremely strong powers, if not to fight something, you know? It just seems kind of strange, honestly. So at the end of this episode, like I said, they're transported to their world, and I'm very curious to know where we go from here. Like, we're still chasing the book hero, and Philo is still missing, so Naofumi and the gang are really in the same position that they were in, but now they have a new ally in Kizuna with them. So, and I gotta say, her weapon is a little strange. Isn't it like a fishing rod, basically? I will say, this show does a good job of making, like, very unorthodox weapons, and I like that. I think it's creative as hell. But, yeah, guys, like I said, pretty straightforward episode, so let me know in the comments how you guys felt about it. Because, I don't know, this felt like, I don't want to say this felt rushed, because I don't believe it felt rushed, but I feel like in the original novel, this probably goes into a little more detail. We spent a little more time. I'm curious where Philo is, if she's with maybe Lilark and Glass, because they went in too. Maybe she got separated and is with them this whole time, but I don't know. We'll find out soon enough. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode. What do you think of Kizuna being another cardinal hero? And who do you think the other cardinal heroes are? Do you think it's Lilark and Glass? I feel like it might be. But she didn't mention Thressa, which makes me very curious. She didn't mention her. She mentioned Lilark and Glass, but she didn't mention her. So that has me a little curious too. But I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. So yeah, guys, I think that'll be it for today's episodes, you know? A nice little straightforward review. Like I said, not too much happened, but I still wanted to give it to you guys. Shield Hero is, I feel like, starting to finally get back on track. And that's a good thing, because we got a Season 3 coming up soon. So hopefully Season 3 is really good, and we don't get a little bit of a bumpy start like we did with Season 2. But until next time, guys, I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until then, deuces, and have a blessed day.